Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. The other day, I covered the death of Daryl Dawkins, the Philadelphia 76er who died at age 58 on August 27th. At the end of that video, I said, for as long as this gang of killers is not exposed, is not held accountable, innocent people will continue to die. And here, 17 days later, we have the death of Moses Malone, also a Philadelphia 76er. Recall the NBA Finals were won by the Golden State Warriors, which originally were from Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Warriors moved, getting the new team, the Philadelphia 76ers. And if you haven't seen my work on the NBA Finals, I showed how the NBA Finals were completely rigged by the numbers, foreshadowing the upcoming Pope's visit because the Pope will be visiting Philadelphia. Please go back and watch those videos. They're very well done. These deaths of Daryl Dawkins and Moses Malone are completely related to what I am exposing. So Moses Malone died yesterday, September 13th, 2015, which on the Jewish calendar is the last day of Elul, the beginning of the Jewish New Year. Moses Malone died at age 60 on Rosh Hashanah, also the other Jewish holy day taking place yesterday. Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year, the biblical name for the holiday from Yom Teruah, or the Feast of Trumpets. That began yesterday, the date of Moses Malone's death, and I will show you how all of this stuff is connected. Notice that yesterday's date, September 13th, 2015, has numerology of 57. The holiday Rosh Hashanah in Pythagorean gematria also sums to 57. 57 is an important number. It connects to the moon, which is of great importance to the Jewish people. Of the first 6 presidents, 4 were inaugurated at the age of 57, a special number in itself. Notice that Rosh and Hashanah both have connections to the number 33, another number we often find around sacrifice. Rosh Hashanah. And Rosh Hashanah in simple English gematria, both words sum to 60. Moses Malone died at age 60, but there's a lot more. His full name is Moses Eugene Malone. Moses Eugene Malone has gematria of 71 and 89. 71 and 89. Notice that Moses Malone, without the middle name, is 41 and 59. 59 is a number coded on black Americans throughout history. The words Negro, slave, blues all have gematria of 59. Motown Records came out in 59. The number 59 is the kill number in Jewish gematria. The name Pope Francis sums to 59. So did the only Catholic president, John F. Kennedy. The name John F. Kennedy, gematria of 59. Pope Francis will be in Philadelphia on September 27th, which happens to be the Jesuit order's birthday related to the Catholic Church. Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope. The date that Pope Francis is in Philadelphia, September 27th, is a date with 71 numerology. The reason this is interesting is because the word Catholic has simple English gematria of 71. And again, this is the Jesuit order's birthday. Notice how the name Moses Eugene Malone sums to 71. I often talk about how these Zionist killers kill people for their name and life numbers and how they connect with current events and what's going on in the world. Moses Eugene Malone, with the S exceptions, also sums to 89, like the word religion. This has much to do with religion. His initials MM break down to 1313, or in Pythagorean gematria, 13 is 1 plus 3 equals 4, so also 44. His teammate Daryl Dawkins, DD, just died 17 days earlier. D's the fourth letter. So DD 44, MM 44. 44 is the kill number. The first president to ever die in office died April 4th. Martin Luther King Jr. died on April 4th. The last president to die in office was JFK, the 44th term president, a distinction from Obama, the 44th president. JFK was the 35th president, the only Catholic president. The word Catholic in Pythagorean gematria sums to 35. In simple English, 71. Moses Malone was born March 23rd. This is an interesting date. I just did a video on the Blood Moon documentary. That documentary was released March 23rd, 2015. The fourth and final blood moon will begin on the evening of September 27th and carry into the morning of September 28th, depending on where you are in the world. Just want to make that point. There's a movie out there called Shooter, starring Mark Wahlberg, about an assassination against the President of the United States while he's visiting with the Archbishop, another Catholic thing, of Ethiopia. And the assassination in that movie takes place in Philadelphia. That movie released on March 23rd. March 23rd. The word Lucifer has gematria of 323, kind of like March 23rd. Moses Malone was born in Petersburg, Virginia. Notice that Petersburg has that gematria of 59, like his name, Moses Malone. This number coded all over black Americans, having to do with killing. He was born in the year 55, Petersburg, Virginia. Also has a connection. Oftentimes these celebrities, their birthplaces and their names match up. Not uncommon. This is where it gets a little more creepy, Truth Seeker. The date Moses Malone died, September 13th, 2015, on the Jewish calendar was the last day of Elul, the 29th of Elul. In the Jewish calendar, we're in the year 5775. Remember, the Jews have been around for a while. But in the month of Elul, notice this. Moses, the biblical figure, ascends Mount Sinai in the year 1313 BCE. And here Moses Malone, remember M's the 13th letter, so MM is 1313. Moses Malone died on the last day of Elul. The last day. Coincidence? It is not. If anyone thinks this is coincidence, you are not getting it. You are dismissing these Zionist killers. This is how they operate. This is what I've been exposing for more than a year now on this video blog. I have to admit, this death of Moses Malone is the most blatant one I've seen yet, with it being the last day of Elul, Rosh Hashanah, days after the death of Daryl Dawkins, the formal 76er. This stuff is just blatant and in your face at this point. Again, remember, Rosh Hashanah has that special gematria that connects to the date of Moses Malone's death, as well as his name and age. Rosh Hashanah, Truth Seeker, is about preparing for the upcoming holiday of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, which is September 23rd. Daryl Dawkins, his teammate, just died August 27th, which is the 239th day of the year. 23/9 is a way to write the date September 23rd. So, yet another connection to the upcoming Pope and Barack Obama visit. They will be meeting on September 23rd, Pope Francis and the President, on the date of Yom Kippur. 4 days later, the Pope will travel to Philadelphia. Notice that Moses Malone wore the number 2. Daryl Dawkins just died at the age of 58, and I've been talking a lot about how 58 is getting coded all over, especially shooting hoaxes. This morning, September 14th, there's a shooting in Mississippi. Today has 58 numerology. Mississippi has 58 gematria. Anyway, with regards to Moses Malone, he wore the number 2, which in simple English has gematria of 58, kind of like the age Daryl Dawkins just died at. Daryl Dawkins dead at 58, Moses Malone dead at 60. The word destruction has gematria of 49 and 58, and the reason that's interesting to me is because 49 is a number of revelation, which is where Philadelphia gets its name from, and there's been a lot of revelation coding in recent events having to do with Philadelphia. This tweet came at 8:55 in the morning from the Philadelphia 76ers organization, Fo. Some really interesting gematria here. F's the 6th letter, O's the 15th, 1 plus 5 breaks down to 6. Sum it all up, it's a lot of 6s that sum to 36, and if you add the numbers 1 through 36, they total 666. Possibly signs of who is really behind the killing. Trademarking. So I hope that was clear enough, Truth Seeker. Again, Daryl Dawkins just died 17 days earlier. The word kill in Pythagorean gematria is 17. He died on the 239th day. Daryl Dawkins, a lot of interesting coding within the name as well. He was known for being a backboard breaker. He broke his first backboard in Kansas City on a date with numerology of 122. Just like Pope Francis has gematria of 122. See if I can pull this up for you, Truth Seeker. Daryl Dawkins breaks his first backboard in 1979. That's the year there was the first Pope visit to the United States. He did it November 13th, 1979. A date with numerology of 122. He did it in Kansas City, which has gematria of 122, just like Pope Francis. And again, if you haven't seen my videos on the NBA Finals this year that were won by the Golden State Warriors, Golden State has gematria of 122, just like San Francisco. The NBA Finals closed out with a special numerological tribute to Philadelphia. And recall Andre Iguodala, who played his career with the Philadelphia 76ers before becoming a Warrior, won the MVP of these finals. Anyway, this was one of the last shots of the NBA Finals. The score was paused here. The cameras were on Stephen Curry's family, showing his daughter Riley in the stands for a long time here, while the score was 98-89 with 101 on the clock. These are all numerological tributes, all signs of the scripted game. 98 was coded all over the NBA Finals. Game 1 went to overtime, 98 days after the Warriors and Cavs played in the regular season on February 26th. From that game, I was able to predict that the NBA Finals would be Warriors-Cavs, which was a correct prediction. The name King James has gematria of 89. And that 101 on the clock is a tribute to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, which has gematria of 101. The NBA Finals came 111 days after Lupercalia this year. Notice Lupercalia has that gematria of 98. 111 days connects to the NBA Finals because the NBA Finals equals 111. So hopefully I'm not losing you there with all the numbers. I just want to show you how these Zionists run it. And if you don't think Zionists run basketball, you must really not be paying attention. David Stern, Adam Silver, little tiny disgusting Jewish men. These people are the real killers. They need to be held accountable. Who's going to die next? You know? Who's going to die next? R.I.P. Moses Malone.